is when our church family actually organized and started building. As you know, the Chin family members, several of the Chin family members were the original founders of Mount Olive Baptist Church. Now, the plantation that they were on was right across the street. So isn't this amazing that we are erecting this edifice directly across the street where the founders of this church were held as slaves? And so, as they came out of slavery, of course, they purchased 300 acres of land, and part of that 300 acres of land that they own is the very land in which this building is being built right now. And so you can see how God has continued to keep us connected to our history, even though we're a little bit down the road. And sometimes they say the more things change, the more they remain the same, because, as you know, our address on Telegraph Road is 13111 Telegraph Road. The address of this building is 13111 Minnieville Road. Amen. So not much is changing, even though we're changing. And even our neighbors, and just so you'll know, because we call him Mr. Charlie, he's a great guy. And if the trees weren't growing, you could see the house. Now, the gentleman who lives in that house, how many of you know Teresa DeShields? That's her uncle. That house is where Teresa DeShields' grandparents live. Her dad, Jack Bolden, and Charlie Bolden, a brother. And so you can see even in that, we are continuing connected to the history. And as Deacon Hall said, getting to this point has come with many obstacles. I mean, some of which will absolutely stop what you're doing. But God, I'm telling you. And so even as he said last Monday when many were enjoying the federal holiday, we were across the street here having a meeting. And the reason is because the sewer line that we need to connect to is on the other side of Minnieville Road. It's not on this side. And to get across the other side required a lot of energy, a lot of work, and a lot of commitment by a lot of people to make that happen, to include the two neighbors who have graciously allowed us to come across their property to get to the point where you connect to the sewer, because the connection point actually sits in that community across the street. It's not out here on Minnieville Road, it's in the street. And so we have to actually pass through their property to get to the connection point. And they have blessed us